Okay, so we talked about the arcade fight stick. Now we're going to talk about the tournament edition. The tournament edition stick that came out last year when Street Fighter 4 was released in 2009. First of all, the price point, just to give you some perspective, like I said, the arcade stick originally started selling for around $70 to $80. This stick, when it was first released, was selling for up to $150. They actually started going for really high prices on eBay and other places because everyone wanted to get a joystick when Street Fighter 4 came out. Now you can probably get this version of the stick for about $100 depending on where you go. I actually found a couple of these online for like $110 on different places like Amazon.com and through them. So the prices are definitely dropping simply because there's more sticks on the market, and this is last year's model. But anyway, right off the bat, this is a really neat box. I mean, look, every side of the box has some different collector's artwork. You've got Ryu on the top, you've got Bison on the bottom, you've got Chun-Li kicking on the side, you've got C Viper on the side here. On the back, you've got a really, really nice splash picture of all the characters of Street Fighter. You know, the box is really well done. And then the other cool thing is, on the front, you have basically two different sides of characters here, and it opens up. It's a magnetic box, and it opens up to kind of display your joystick inside there. And the way there's a clear window. Obviously, the joystick isn't in there. I took it out because I've been using the joystick. But anyway, on the side here, you got Akuma doing like a dive kick, more art, which is cool. And here, which you don't get with a lot of stuff, it's kind of hard to see because I can't really rotate it so you can see it because of the way that they put it on here. But you get a certificate of authenticity, basically saying that this is an official MadCatz product, and it was signed off on by Ono, who is one of the designers of the Street Fighter games. So it's a pretty neat thing. There's no bonus like the other stick. You don't get like the moves list, which is kind of a bummer that you pay more for this stick and you don't get that bonus. But the packaging itself is worth keeping. I've had this stick for a year and I kept the original box because I thought it was so neat looking. So anyway, enough about the box. Let's actually look at the joystick. There's a lot of differences between this and the other stick, okay? So this is the tournament edition stick, and pardon me because I should have fucking cleaned it before we did this video. It's dusty as hell. But as you can see, very similar layout to the other stick. You've got your Japanese style joystick, your 6 attack buttons, 3 punches, 3 kicks, your 2 additional buttons if you want to program them. Just like the other sticks, you've got a turbo button, you've got your lock. You can change this to be either left or right thumbstick or D-pad. One of the cool things about this stick, well, there's a couple cool things about this stick. First of all, it's a heavy stick. It's a lot heavier than that other stick. So a lot of people say, I don't understand how I'm supposed to play with these joysticks. I played in arcades, but joysticks always move all around. This stick has so much weight in it that it's designed to sit on your lap. Now, obviously, it's on a table right now, but it's designed to sit on your knees and not move because it's heavy. That's really the way they designed this stick. It has a couple cool features. You got your headphone jack, so you can use, on Xbox Live, you can chat if you want. If you don't have a wireless, you can use a standard headphone. You plug it into the front. Some neat features is that this one, start and select on the front, but this is really cool. Now, remember the first joystick had a long cord. This one has a very long cord as well, but as you can see, what they've done is they've actually designed a door on the back of the joystick that stores your cord. So rather than have the cord hanging out all the time like you have with that arcade edition stick, with the tournament edition you actually have the ability to roll the cord up and put it on the inside and close it for storage purposes. And basically this has been under my coffee table stored like this, and I don't have a wire caught up in anything, which is a pretty cool thing. The quality of the stick, I'm going to be honest with you, is much better than the arcade edition, and the reason is because the parts that they used in this stick are much more higher quality parts than the ones that they use in the arcade edition. I remember I said that the ones in that stick were made by MadCatz. Well, these are actually official Japanese parts. I believe they said they were Sanwa parts that they purchased for these sticks. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've played on all kinds of parts. I played on Famitsu, Sanwa, I've modified my own joysticks. This stick is good. It's not spectacular, it's not great. I find that when I bought the parts myself and actually modified a stick myself, the control was actually a lot better than this stick. It seems like whatever parts they bought for this stick were probably like specially made for MadCatz, so they're probably all about the same quality. Don't get me wrong, they're much better quality than the arcade stick. The arcade stick, constantly the buttons die on it or wear out. These, they don't wear out. I've had them for a year. If they start to get, wear out, you clean it a little bit and they're back to normal. They're really good quality buttons. The joystick's also really good quality, but overall I still feel that like actually buying the parts, Famitsu or Sanwa parts, and installing them yourself fresh, I think those are better. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't know if the quality is a little bit less than what, you know, than the normal Sanwa stuff, but I found that customizing the buttons, I like those joysticks a little bit better. But overall, this joystick is pretty cool. It's heavy, like I said, and it's a little bit more of a serious stick because people, like I said, first of all, as you see, it does not lean down. The other stick, remember, at the front it had that contour that kind of curved towards you. You don't get this on this stick. It's a large, flat surface, so it feels more like playing on an arcade cabinet. It's more like the traditional arcade joystick that most people are used to when they're playing these games. And it's a nice stick. Overall, it's a nice stick to be able to get dragon punches or those complex motions. It's nicer on a bigger stick when your hands are flat to be able to get those motions, as opposed to that smaller stick might be a little bit harder because, you know, all of a sudden you're trying to do a split-second reaction. Well, this is on your lap. It might wobble around or move. With this stick, it's a lot heavier, so it's a lot harder for this stick to slide around on your lap or come unsettled from where it is when you're playing and fuck you up. So I do like this stick. Like I said, for the price point, again, in comparison to the other stick right now started around $80. Now it sells for about $40. This stick right now, like I said, you could probably get it for just over $100. It's still a really good stick. And just like that other joystick, the arcade one, this tournament edition, you can modify the buttons if you want. You can replace them. You can replace the joystick. All this has been made very easy by MadCatz because they realize that a lot of the people who like competitive fighting games love to modify their equipment to their own specifications. And they really made it easy to do that. I mean, sure you have to take out bolts and everything, but if you've seen on my channel, The King of Hate HD, I actually had a tutorial on how to take this stick apart, this model, and modify it and put custom artwork and put all kinds of things into it. So, I'm sorry, not this model, it was actually a Hori, but this model is very similar to that, where all you have to do is undo bolts on the top, you know, do a couple things, pop in other buttons. It's very similar to that other stick, so. This stick, pretty good. I would say if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it, for the price point, I'd probably give it an 8. And the only reason I say that is because it is a little bit on the pricey side. You know, when it was new, it was $150. And being that, like I said, I feel that these buttons aren't really up to par with the actual Sanwa or Famitsu that you would import and install yourself. If I'm paying $150, I really wish that they would have been that good. But I have played with some of these in tournaments and had a couple problems. So I'd say, overall, it's a good stick. I give it an 8, but I wouldn't give it any of a higher rating than that. So that's it for the 2009 edition of the sticks. You saw the arcade edition stick, and this was the tournament edition stick. And as you saw, you know, the artwork, it actually has a big 4 Street Fighter on it. It's pretty cool. But now what we're going to talk about is the stick that just was released just a week ago, actually. Most GameStop stores should have it. You can find it online. And that's going to be the Tournament Edition Stick S. I think it's like Special is some stupid name for it. That just came out, and that was going to be coming up next.